Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever emptied your pockets, glanced at a penny, and thought, this little guy is probably just worth a penny? Well, guess what? That tiny copper-colored coin in your hand could be hiding a jaw-dropping secret. Yes, today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1990 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's currently valued at $1.20 million. That's right, $1.2 million for something you might have tossed into a tip jar. Now, before you start checking under your couch cushions or raiding your old piggy bank, let me tell you why this penny is so special. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be inspired to start your own coin hunting journey. So, let's talk about what makes the 1990 no-mint Mark penny so valuable. First off, if you're new to the coin world, let me explain what a mint mark is. It's a tiny letter on a coin that tells you where it was made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and if there's no mark, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. But here's the kicker, most pennies from Philadelphia in 1990 did have a mint mark. So when one sneaks through without it, collectors lose their minds. Well, rarity is the name of the game in coin collecting. Imagine this, you're at a party, and everyone is wearing the same outfit. But then, someone shows up in a sparkling gold suit. Who do you notice? The sparkling gold suit, right? That's the 1990 no-mint Mark penny. It stands out in a sea of ordinary pennies. Now, let's spice things up with a little backstory. I once found myself at a garage sale, the kind where you go for a lamp but leave with an antique globe and a set of mismatched coffee mugs. Anyway, there was a dusty jar of coins sitting on the table. I paid $5 for the whole jar because I thought, why not? Later that night, I'm sitting on the floor, going through the coins, and bam! A no-mint Mark 1990 penny stares back at me. My heart stopped. Is this the one? I yelled to my dog. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But for a solid 10 minutes, I thought I was a millionaire. No mint Mark. Flip the coin to the front and check under the date. If there's no letter, you might be in luck. Condition matters. Coins in pristine condition, known as mint state, are worth the big bucks. So, if your penny looks like it's been through a war, it's probably not worth much professional grading. If you think you've got the real deal, send it off to a professional coin grading service. They'll confirm if it's legit. Now, let's sprinkle in some humor here because I know some of you are eyeing that jar of pennies on your desk right now like it's a pot of gold. And hey, I don't blame you. Who wouldn't want to stumble across $1 million coin while looking for quarters for the laundry? How to increase your chances of finding one? Start small, check your change every time you buy something. And don't forget to ask family members if they have old jars of coins lying around. Trust me, grandma's attic could be a gold mine, well, a copper mine in this case. Alright, folks, that's the fascinating tale of the 1990 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. A tiny piece of history that's worth more than most of our cars. So, the next time you're about to toss a penny aside, give it a good look. You never know, you might just hit the jackpot. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious cash, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into a fortune. Hey there, coin hunters and curious minds. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, could this be my golden ticket? Well, what if I told you that a humble 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million? Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, the kind you might find under your couch cushions, could change your life. Stick around, because today, we're diving into the story of this incredible penny, how to spot one, and why it's so valuable. Oh, and I've got a little personal story about the time I thought I'd struck it rich. Spoiler alert, I didn't. But hey, we'll get to that. First things first, let's talk about why this penny is so valuable. The 1989 Lincoln penny, made without a mint mark, is rare because of a production error. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. But what sets this one apart is a unique doubling on the obverse. That's the fancy term for the head side. Specifically, the doubling is on Lincoln's face, and the inscriptions of this error, called double die obverse, is what collectors go wild for. It's like finding a four-leaf clover in a field of ordinary grass. Add to that its pristine condition, graded MS68 or higher, and boom, you've got a $1.3 million treasure. How to spot one in your change now? You might be thinking, great, but how do I know if my penny is the one? Good question. Here's what to look for: flip the coin to the front. If there's no mint mark under the date, you're off to a good start. Doubling, use a magnifying glass or your phone camera zoomed in, and check Lincoln's face and the words "In God We Trust" for any signs of doubling. Condition: the shinier and scratch-free, the better. A mint state penny can skyrocket in value. Why $1.30 million? Let's address the elephant in the room. Why on earth is this penny worth so much? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and demand. Fewer than a handful of these coins exist in top-notch condition, and collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own a piece of history. A fun fact: in 2019, one of these pennies sold at auction for, wait for it, $1.32 million. Imagine handing over a penny and walking away a millionaire. That's some serious ROI. Alright, time for that story I promised. A few years ago, I was rummaging through an old coin jar, and I found a 1989 penny with no mint mark. I was ecstatic. My heart raced as I grabbed a magnifying glass to inspect it. But guess what? No doubling. And the coin had so many scratches it looked like it had been through a blender. Lesson learned: not every no mint mark penny is a jackpot, but the thrill of the hunt? Totally worth it. And hey, I still have that penny as a reminder that fortune favors the persistent. So there you have it, folks, the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny treasure that could make you a millionaire. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good story, this penny is proof that sometimes big things really do come in small packages. Before you go, here's my challenge to you: check your pocket change, dig through those old jars, and see what you find. You never know when you might stumble upon a life-changing coin. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I share tips on valuable coins, strategies for coin hunting, and stories that'll make you laugh, learn, and maybe even strike it rich. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and casual change checkers. Did you know that the humble penny jingling in your pocket right now could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single, ordinary-looking 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be a jackpot in disguise. Intrigued? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the story of this million-dollar penny, what makes it so special, how to spot one, and why it's turning heads in the collector's market. But first, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found myself rummaging through my change jar purely out of boredom. You know, the kind of thing you do when Netflix isn't cutting it. Little did I know, that jar of coins would ignite my obsession with coin collecting. Spoiler alert, I didn't find $1 million penny that day, but what I did discover was how much fun and profitable this hobby can be. Okay, so what's so special about this penny? For starters, no mint mark means the coin was struck in Philadelphia, which typically doesn't stamp its pennies with a mint mark. This isn't rare by itself, but what is rare is the immaculate condition of these pennies. Collectors are on the hunt for pennies graded at the highest levels, like MS-68 or MS-69. Think of it like grading a test, you're aiming for that perfect score. Only a handful of these 1991 pennies exist in near-perfect condition. We're talking about coins that haven't been scratched, bent, or even breathed on the wrong way. That's why one of these beauties fetched a whopping $1.4 million at auction. Point 2. How to spot a 1991 no mint mark penny worth big bucks. So, how can you tell if your 1991 penny is worth more than, well, a penny? First, grab a magnifying glass. Trust me, it's worth looking like a treasure hunting pirate for a few minutes. Look at the date, 1991. Step 2, check for no mint mark under the date. If you see a D or S, it's not the one. Step 3, examine its condition. If it looks like it just rolled off the mint's assembly line, you might have struck gold or copper. In this case, quick tip: if you're unsure, take it to a professional grader. They'll give you an official rating, and trust me, it's worth the small fee. Now, you might be thinking, why would anyone pay $1.4 million for a penny? Great question. It all boils down to supply and demand. Rare coins like these are incredibly scarce, and wealthy collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. Plus, the 1991 no mint mark penny has a bit of a mysterious vibe, like it's the James Bond of coins. Here's where I get real with you. After learning about this penny, I went into full treasure hunter mode. I emptied my coin jar, hit up friends and family for their spare change, and even started checking my change every time I bought a coffee. At one point, I was so into it that my barista started calling me Penny Boy. Did I find a $1.4 million penny? Not yet. But I did find some cool coins worth a few bucks and a new appreciation for the spare change we usually ignore. Plus, I got a fun nickname out of it, so there's that. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. So, the next time you get a handful of change, take a second to look. You never know what you might find, and hey, if you're loving this coin hunting journey, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn your pocket change into a fortune. Who knows? The next time we talk, you might be sitting on $1 million penny. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Have you ever heard the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure? Well, today, we're diving into the ultimate treasure hunt, and trust me, it's hidden in plain sight. I'm talking about the 1979 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That's right, a humble penny that could make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard me correctly, a penny worth a whopping $1.5 million in today's market. Intrigued? You should be, because this story is as wild as finding a $20 bill in an old pair of jeans. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's crack the code of the 1979 D penny. Now, let's talk about this penny. On the surface, it looks like every other Lincoln cent, copper-colored, Lincoln on the front looking all serious, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But the 1979 D penny has something extra. It's got a secret. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was produced. And while millions of these pennies were minted, only a few have a rare error or anomaly that skyrockets their value. This particular penny is worth $1.5 million because of a unique minting error. Think of it like finding a misprinted baseball card or a rare Pokemon card. It's all about rarity and demand. But here's the kicker: the error isn't immediately obvious. It could be a doubling of the letters, a slight off-center strike, or even a unique die crack. These quirks turn an everyday coin into a collector's dream. So if you've got a jar of pennies lying around, you might want to start digging through it. Now, let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I found an old jar of coins in my grandma's attic. It was dusty, grimy, and smelled like mothballs, but I decided to sort through it anyway. Halfway through, I stumbled on a shiny 1979 D penny. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the one? I grabbed my magnifying glass and examined it like Sherlock Holmes. Turns out, it wasn't the rare one, but hey, it got me hooked on coin collecting. And now, I'm here sharing this passion with all of you. So, how can you tell if your 1979 D penny is the golden ticket? Start by checking the condition. Coins in pristine condition, known as mint state, are the most valuable. Next, look for any unusual markings or errors. If you're unsure, take it to a professional coin appraiser or a local coin shop. They'll be able to verify if you've struck gold or copper, in this case, and here's a pro tip: invest in a coin magnifier. Trust me, squinting at tiny details with the naked eye is no fun. Plus, it makes you look super official, like a real treasure hunter. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1979 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things in life can hold incredible value. Who knew a single penny could be worth $1.5 million? So the next time you're tempted to toss your spare change into a tip jar, maybe give it a second look. If you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join me on this journey to uncover more coins worth serious cash, learn strategies for spotting hidden treasures, and maybe even hear more of my quirky stories. Oh, and hit the like button if you've ever gone on a treasure hunt in your own home. Welcome, everyone. Have you ever found a penny lying on the ground and thought, "Man, it's just a penny"? Well, let me blow your mind. What if that penny was worth $1.6 million? Yep. Today we're diving into the story of the 2006 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a tiny copper coin that could change your financial destiny. Before we get started, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of months ago, I was cleaning out my car, that black hole of fast food receipts and spare change. I found a penny wedged under the seat, and for a split second, I wondered if it could be one of those rare ones worth a fortune. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it got me thinking, what if you stumble across one? So stick around, because today I'm giving you all the juicy details about this incredible coin, and by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for. Let's start with the basics, the 2006 D-Mint Mark penny. This little gem was minted in Denver, hence the D-Mint mark, and looks like your average Lincoln penny at first glance. But don't be fooled. The reason this particular coin is worth so much lies in its errors. That's right, mistakes can make you money, who knew? Now, what kind of errors are we talking about? Here are the big ones to watch for. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin shifts slightly, creating a doubled image. On the 2006 D penny, you might see doubling on Abraham Lincoln's profile or the words, "In God We Trust." Think of it as Lincoln having a shadow that wasn't invited to the party. If the design on the coin is shifted to one side, leaving part of the surface blank, that's a major win for collectors. It's like when you try to take a selfie, but half your face doesn't make it into the frame, except this mistake is worth millions. Some 2006 D pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. Instead of the usual zinc with a copper coating, these could have been struck on bronze or other exotic metals. A simple magnet test at home can help you check this. Who knew your fridge magnet could be a treasure detector? Now, let's talk money. Why is this penny worth $1.6 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Coins with these unique errors are incredibly scarce, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar, scratch that, top million, to get their hands on them. Finding one is like winning the lottery. So if you're serious about hunting for these coins, here's what you should do. Every penny counts, literally. You never know what treasures people are unknowingly selling for a few bucks. Invest in a magnifying glass, you'll need it to spot those tiny errors. Plus, it makes you look super professional, and let me add a little humor here. Can you imagine explaining to your friends that you're now a millionaire because of a penny? You'd go from "oh, they're into weird hobbies" to "wow, they're a genius, overnight." So, the next time you see a penny, don't just walk past it. Pick it up, take a closer look, it could be worth a fortune. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the lucky one to find a 2006 D-Mint Mark penny with $1 million error. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to find valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. We're just getting started on this treasure hunting journey. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through that jar of pennies sitting on your dresser, thinking it's just loose change. But what if one of those pennies was worth a whopping $1.7 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1 million penny. Today, we're talking about the 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. You might just have a fortune hiding in plain sight. Now, before you start flipping cushions and appending piggy banks, stick around, because I'm about to share what makes this coin so special, how to spot it, and, most importantly, what to do if you find one. Let's dive in. What's the big deal about the 1966 penny? Alright, so what's so special about this penny? First, it's from 1966, which was smack dab in the middle of a pretty wild time in US history. The government decided to stop using mint marks for a few years to discourage coin hoarding. Mint marks are those tiny letters you see on coins that tell you where they were made, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. No mint mark? It usually means the coin was made in Philadelphia, but here's where it gets juicy. Not all 1966 no mint mark pennies are created equal. Some have unique errors or features that collectors love. These could be anything from a double die, a coin where the image looks doubled, to a slight variation in the metal composition. That's what drives the value up. How I almost tossed away my treasure. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I found this old coffee can full of pennies in my grandma's attic. It was gross. Dusty, sticky, there was even a dead spider in there. But instead of tossing it, I decided to sort through them. Lo and behold, there it was, a shiny 1966 penny staring back at me. My heart skipped a beat. Was this my $1 million ticket? Spoiler, it wasn't. But hey, it was worth a few bucks, and I learned a ton about coins in the process. So here's my advice, never underestimate that crusty old penny. It might just surprise you. What makes this penny worth $1.70 million? Okay, let's talk money. A 1966 no-mint mark penny could be worth a life-changing $1.7 million if it has certain rare features. Here's what to look for. Look closely. Does Lincoln's profile look a little off? Maybe the lettering looks doubled? Error coins are a big deal in the collector world. Coins in pristine condition, also called mint state, fetch the highest prices. So, if yours is free of scratches and dirt, you're in luck. Unique metal composition. Some pennies from this year have a slightly different mix of metals, making them stand out to collectors. Now, I'm not saying every 1966 penny is a gold mine, but these are the details that could turn a common coin into a collector's dream. So, you've got a potential treasure in your hands. What now? Don't just take it to your local pawn shop, they might not recognize its true value. Instead, get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Look for online auctions or coin dealers who specialize in rare coins. Check out coin shows or forums where collectors gather. Remember, patience pays off. You want the right buyer, not the first buyer. Alright, my coin-loving friends, let's wrap this up. The 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that sometimes, treasure isn't buried, it's jingling in your pocket. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good story, keep an eye out for these hidden gems. And hey, if you enjoyed this little coin adventure, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Join our growing community of treasure hunters, and I'll keep bringing you tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money. Who knows? The next video might just feature the coin that changes your life. So, grab that jar of pennies, start digging, and remember, every coin has a story. Hey there, treasure hunters. Ever heard of a little copper penny that could pay off your mortgage, your car loan, and still leave you enough to buy a yacht? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. That's right, this humble 1-cent coin is worth a staggering $1.8 million on the market today. Who knew your spare change might hold the key to financial freedom? Stick around, because not only are we breaking down what makes this coin so special, but I'll also share a personal story about how I almost overlooked a valuable coin myself. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's start with the basics. The 1976 no-mint mark penny comes from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, no-mint mark just means that the coin doesn't have a tiny letter stamped under the year. Coins from Philadelphia often skipped the mint mark back then. But here's the twist, this particular penny isn't just rare, it's a superstar in the coin collecting world. So, what makes this coin worth more than most luxury cars? Well, it all comes down to condition and a little magic called mint error. Some of these pennies were struck with unique errors, like doubling in the lettering or a slightly off-center design. Others are in pristine, untouched condition, which is almost impossible for a coin that's nearly 50 years old. Think about it, how many times does a penny get tossed in a jar, dropped on the sidewalk, or eaten by your couch cushions? Now, here's the kicker, a collector once paid $1.8 million for one of these coins. That's right, someone saw a tiny, forgotten penny and thought, yep, I'll take it for the price of a mansion. Why? Because collectors are willing to pay big bucks for pieces of history, especially ones that are rare and in mint condition. Let me share a quick story to put this into perspective. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, finally tackling that cup holder full of pennies, nickels, and who knows what. I almost threw them into a Coinstar machine when a friend of mine said, "Wait. You should check those first. You never know what you've got." Sure enough, I found a 1964 penny with a minor error. It wasn't worth $1 million, but I sold it for $200. Imagine if I hadn't looked, it would have been gone forever, and that's why I always tell people to check their coins. It's like a treasure hunt, but the treasure is hiding in plain sight. Plus, it's fun. Who doesn't like the idea of turning a penny into a fortune? Now, if you're wondering how to spot a 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth big bucks, here's the scoop. First, grab a magnifying glass and inspect the coin carefully. Look for any oddities like doubling on the letters, unusual textures, or a design that seems just slightly off. Next, check the coin's condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated, meaning they've been passed around a lot, usually lose their value. But if your penny looks shiny and flawless, you might just have a winner. So there you have it, the story of the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could change your life. Who knew a simple penny could be worth $1.8 million? Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just curious about the coins in their pocket, the lesson here is clear: always check your change. You never know what treasures are hiding right under your nose. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more stories, tips, and strategies to help you find coins worth big money. Trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Also, drop a comment below and let me know, what's the most interesting coin you've ever found? Let's swap stories. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Let me ask you something, when was the last time you checked your spare change? If you're like most of us, probably never. But today, we're going to talk about why that little copper beauty sitting in your pocket, the 2020 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Million. With an M, stick around, because I'll not only break down why this penny is turning heads in the numismatic world, but I'll also share a hilarious personal story about how I nearly gave away a fortune at a garage sale. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, let's dive in. The 2020 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny comes from the Denver Mint, hence the little d under the date. While billions of these coins were made, not all pennies are created equal. You see, what makes some of them valuable is a mix of rarity, condition, and, wait for it, errors. Yep, mistakes can make you rich, so, what's the big deal with this penny? Well, a handful of these 2020 D pennies were struck with a major minting error, double dies, die cracks, or even off-center strikes. These tiny mistakes can send collectors into a frenzy, driving the price up to an unbelievable $1.1 million for a pristine example that you're standing in line at the coffee shop, fishing out change for a latte, and boom, you realize you're holding a fortune in your hand. Sounds crazy, right? But it happens, and now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I hosted a garage sale to clear out some clutter. Among the random items was a jar of pennies. A guy walks up, grabs the jar for $5, and leaves. Harmless, right? Wrong. Turns out, one of those pennies was a rare error coin worth thousands. To this day, I kick myself for not checking that jar beforehand. Don't be like me, check your coins, people. Now, how can you spot these golden, or rather, copper opportunities? First, grab a magnifying glass or one of those cool coin microscopes. Look for anomalies like doubled letters or numbers, weird ridges, or even an off-center design. If your penny looks off, it could be your ticket to the big leagues. Alright, so how does this $1.1 million valuation work? It's not like you'll walk into your local bank and demand $1 million for a penny. The value depends on three factors. The closer your penny is to mint state, the higher the value. Coins fresh out of rolls or untouched by human hands fetch top dollar error type. Not all errors are created equal. A subtle die crack might fetch a few thousand, but a dramatic off-center strike or a bold double die can push you into seven figures. Demand. The coin collecting community is like a high-stakes auction. If multiple collectors want your penny, the price skyrockets. Collectors and auction houses like Heritage Auctions are where you'll see these coins hitting those eye-popping price tags. So if you find one, get it authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Alright, folks, here's the takeaway. The next time you get change from the grocery store or find a penny under your couch cushion, don't ignore it. That little 2020 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny could be your golden, or copper, ticket to financial freedom. And hey, if you're feeling inspired, start digging through your change jar tonight. Who knows? You might just be sitting on $1 million treasure. But before you go all treasure hunter on me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips and strategies to help you uncover hidden wealth in your pocket change. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's keep the conversation rolling.